I still remember the smell of popcorn that night. It was the summer of 2012, and my husband Brock and I were broke college kids just trying to have fun. We'd been married only a few months, living in a tiny apartment near Ridgeview College. That night, our friends invited us to a midnight premiere, the new Batman movie everyone was talking about. I almost stayed home. I'd worked 12 hours and could barely keep my eyes open. But I didn't want to miss out. I had no idea how close we were to dying. At 10:30, we met our friends in the lobby. The place buzzed with excitement. Laughter, soda fizz, ticket stubs tearing. We walked past cardboard cutouts of Batman and Catwoman toward Theater 9. The air smelled of butter and sugar. The digital board above glowed. 12 a.m. The dark night rises. I still remember the feeling of being young, tired, and happy. We didn't know a killer had already entered that same lobby. The ticket taker smiled, told us, Theater 9, to your right. Her tone was cheerful, routine. I've replayed that moment hundreds of times. If I'd noticed something, a strange face, a heavy bag, maybe we would have left. But everything looked normal, the kind of normal you trust without thinking. The hallway curved in a U shape. The screen inside was blank and gray. It was early, but the room was already packed. Families, teens, couples. The seats near the front were still empty, too close to the screen. We found 5 seats together, just 4 rows from the back. I sat beside Brock. On my right was my friend Samantha. She had that carefree summer glow, bare shoulders, pink flip-flops dangling. Our friends left to grab snacks, and Brock and I people watched. A kid in a Batman cape, a teenager with neon blue hair. One little girl in our row caught my eye. Blonde, maybe 6 or 7. She kept running to the lobby for candy. Her father laughed every time she came back. I still see her sometimes in dreams. The lights dimmed. The animated safety message played. That cheesy CGI cat reminding us to silence phones and know the exits. I glanced at the glowing green signs on either side of the screen, then looked away. Just routine. Just another movie. The previews rolled, then the title appeared. The Dark Knight Rises. The crowd cheered. I remember leaning against Brock's shoulder, whispering that I might fall asleep during the boring parts. I'd been awake 20 hours. I closed my eyes for a while. The world felt safe, familiar, ordinary. Then, a sudden bang. I gasped. The sound came from the left side of the room. A sharp chemical smell filled the air like fireworks. People laughed nervously, thinking it was a prank. Then came more bangs, flashes of light. And that's when everything inside me froze. Brock grabbed me, pulling me to the floor. He lay over me, shielding me with his body. The sounds came faster, metallic thunder screaming, the movie still playing on top of it. I realized what was happening. Those weren't fireworks. They were bullets. I couldn't move. Shrapnel tore through the seats around us. Something hot grazed my head. A lock of my hair burned away. I reached up and caught metal fragments in my hand. The smell of gunpowder mixed with tear gas and blood. My lungs burned. My body shook uncontrollably. Someone's drink exploded beside me. Cold water splashed across my face. A child was crying somewhere behind us. I prayed, silently, over and over. Please not me. Please not him. The bullet stopped for a moment. Silence. Then Tommy shouted, "Let's get out!" We ran down the stairs, past the screen, towards that green exit sign. The air was thick with gas. I couldn't see. We found the door by slamming into it, our hands clawing for a handle. When it gave way, we fell into the night like drowning people breaking the surface. Streetlights burned our eyes. I fell to the ground, scrambled up. My legs were soaked, red. For a second, I thought it was water. It wasn't. It was Brock's blood. Brock's right leg was torn open. His foot hung by skin and fabric. He couldn't walk. Two men, one our friend, one a stranger, carried him. My voice cracked when I screamed. It echoed across the parking lot. The sound drew nearby construction workers, who froze mid-shift. We made it to the far corner of the building. Brock collapsed. Blood pooled beneath him, spreading dark and slow. I pressed my shirt against the wound, my hands slick and shaking. I begged him not to close his eyes. The police arrived within minutes, sirens slicing the night. A female officer knelt beside us, her voice steady. Paramedics took forever. Each second felt like an hour. Brock's breathing slowed. I counted everyone, terrified each could be the last. When they finally lifted him onto the stretcher, his skin looked gray. I remember watching the paramedics run across the grass into the waiting ambulance. I couldn't go with him. There wasn't room. I just stood there, covered in his blood, as the doors slammed shut. I wandered back toward the front of the theater. The place looked like a war zone. Police lights everywhere, people crying, bodies covered with blankets. Everyone was coated in smoke and blood that didn't belong to them. It didn't feel real. Someone offered me a ride to the hospital. I didn't even have my phone. I'd left it at home. Every hospital I tried said the same thing. No record of Brock yet. I kept driving. I refused to believe he was gone. By dawn, I found him. Alive. Barely. He'd lost nearly half his blood. The doctors worked for hours. They couldn't save his leg. I remember standing in the ICU, watching him sleep. I'd never seen him so pale. But he was breathing. 12 people died that night. 70 others were injured. The little blonde girl from our row didn't make it. The officer who carried her out testified later, crying on the stand. I still think about her every July. In the years that followed, I learned about the man who did it. A brilliant student, obsessed with killing. He stalked our theater for months. I saw him in court years later, his eyes empty, detached. Sitting across from him was like facing a void. To the man who tried to kill me, who took my husband's leg and a child's life, I hope you never breathe free air again. You didn't destroy me. You just showed me how fragile the world really is. I still hear the echoes sometimes, but I'm still here.